Step into the dream bucket.
Dream bucket.
Send us your dreams. Step into the dream bucket.
Dream bucket.
And Casey and her dad are on the scene. Into the dream bucket.
Dream, dream, dream.
Send us your dreams. Step into the dream bucket.
Dream, dream. Dream.
Transcribe that, audience.
Yo.
That's right. That's right. We hit some chord in there where notes were close.
I was really going to start beatboxing, and I realized I don't know how to beatbox.
But it got me going. I was like, okay, now we got a feel to this.
Yep.
Maybe that's the Nickless Dream Bucket. Has a little, like, we got to kick it at the end or something.
Like nope, I wasn't.
So
school man fresh in here.
So we're back in a weird state here.
We're in such a weird.
We have tried to do this 3 or 4 times. We're on the opposite side of the room.
Weird.
And we want to have content coming more regularly. We love Nick just as much, if not more than ever.
Yes.
But in scheduling with our busy lives, it gets tricky. And he's given us
you
permission.
To put Nick on blast on this episode.
No blast.
Okay.
No, that's what you would do if you wanted to go
Nick.
there.
Okay, y'all hear it.
I said, and so we decide. So we're doing a Dream Bucket without Nick because we just want to make sure we keep having content coming.
Yes.
We're not because we're trying to not have Nick here. We want him here.
Look.
If he showed up right now, we'd set up his microphone.
Hell yeah, we would.
Right. I mean, I'm not, so no blast, right?
Yeah. Okay. This is not me and John having
it's not a takeover.
Destiny's Child moment. Okay. Like, I know y'all been like, what the fuck is up with these community buckets?
Right.
It feels very Destiny's Child. Okay.
Things. Yep.
Where's Michelle? Where's Kelly? Where's Beyonce? This is not that. Okay. We're just chilling. We're just trying to be coming regularly in your ears, in your speakers, in your small country that we didn't know was listening.
Yes, yeah.
So
go back to the data for that one.
Yeah, it was like very like a obscure. Shout out to the people in the UK, and shout out to the people in what was it? It was like Ecuador, like that one person in Ecuador.
You keep asking. I got this computer now because Nick's not here. There's a computer in front of me. So if you get me distracted, I'm gonna start doing what I do in meetings, and I'm gonna look something up.
Listen, the data.
Yeah, exactly. I'm stopping.
Don't, because I don't want to hear these keyboards. Don't nobody want keyboards in their ear.
Yeah, no. It's not good radio. It's not good podcast.
Rat-a-tat.
So we're trying to get creative with things like the community bucket, or maybe Nick might have a side bucket with the talking film, and just so we can get content a little more regularly. One of those big gaps. And then, because
we're about to be rich and famous. So thank you guys for being on the ride.
Next month, I think.
To fame as we're skyrocketing up as we keep getting downloads and we keep getting our name out there. Spread the word.
All up on the Snapchat, Instagram. Working on that.
Yes,
working on
Facebook. That. Yes. Spread it around.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling you.
You were telling me?
I cannot. I'm gonna save that story for another day, but I'll just know I got something going on.
You got some good stories.
I got some stuff going on.
You got something brewing. It's on
brewing.
The brew. Percolation.
Oh, yes, I might be an awful person.
Oh, that we were. There's theories out there.
Yeah, I might be a terrible person. We will address that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll see. Jury's still out. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Today's my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes. I've been in a tizzy. Is it frenzy? Whatever.
Yeah, those tend to be. They go well with birthdays.
I
expectations, disappointment.
Meeting after meeting after meeting. And then I had like somebody cancel. So then I had to run to the nail shop my mom was in, pay for her nails, and then like run back to my house by 1:57 p.m. because I had a 2:00 DA session. And I'm like, fuck. And I just wish everybody would cancel, but then I don't because I want the money.
Yeah.
So it's like,
gosh.
I don't know.
Past Casey's putting too much on present Casey.
I know. And it's like I just take all this stuff on. And I don't know.
Yep.
So
it always sounds really good in your head beforehand.
It always sounds great.
And then you get to it, and then you're like, where's the break in here?
Okay, so I'm having a friend dilemma.
A friend dilemma.
A friend dilemma.
Are they friends or are they not friends with Casey? John.
Like, a lot of time it's like no, but this time I think yes.
Yeah, a lot of times it is no.
Like a lot of times it's like no.
That's fake gold there.
That is. It is. This is like the kind of diamond that makes your neck turn green. So I have a friend. Gosh, what do we name this friend? I have to give pseudonames because if I don't,
you're not going to put them on blast.
No, I cannot put this person on blast.
Wow.
I'm not allowed to.
I suppose sometimes you do that.
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. So, okay.
You could use vegetables.
I'm too hungry.
Fruit.
Too hungry. You were going down that vegetable rabbit hole, and I was just like, this motherfucker is really. He already had lunch. Okay, I was about to make a sandwich, and then I had to get on that damn. That fucking meeting, that damn cans meeting. Like, the implementation group is meeting at 12:05. What a dumb time to meet.
12:05.
05.
Yeah, they start like baseball games then.
Like, yeah, like, I just was like, this is an odd time to start. Like, you can't go pee, and like, it's just a lot going on. It's just a lot going on.
How does pee work in 12:05?
I'm just saying, like, if you like usually if
you
people,
like go at 12:10.
That's what I'm saying. If you start it like on, at least if you say, okay, boom, I got a little bit of time before this 12 o'clock meeting. Like,
But when you have 5 minutes, because most of your meetings before end at noon, maybe that's why. It's because somebody had to go to the bathroom and they just didn't want to have to do back-to-back.
Just seems weird to put on a calendar invite.
It does. I'm with you there.
12:05 to 1:05. Like, what the fuck can you start at 1:05? Then everything is 05 later.
It's like a built-in bathroom break.
Your whole day is just like later 05. Anyways, so this is an ethical dilemma.
Ethics. Yep.
Is this okay for me to say? Fuck yeah. So I'm doing my thing. You know me, like the bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm always trying to run it up, get this bread. So I work for myself. Okay? And I'm balancing working for other people and working for myself. So as I'm working for myself, I'm doing really well for myself. Mm-hmm. Not money wise, but just like caseload wise. Like I'm basically building myself up at a very rapid rate because, this is the type of person I am. I'm not about to turn down nothing but my collar. You know what I'm saying? I don't have like, you got to be a certain type of, you have to be a certain type of client for me to want you. Like there's some therapists out here who are like, I only deal with depression, or like, I don't deal with this, or like, I don't deal with that, or they don't feel comfortable taking on certain mental health things. Mm-hmm. Me, I'm not like that. I'm like, bitch, spice of life. Like, what's up? You on a spectrum, you was in a DV situation, you got fiddled as a kid, like whatever your trauma is, like I'm here for it. So I don't have any like parameters on like I only see this type of person. So because I'm so open, like I'll just take whoever, because I just feel like I could deal with whatever. Because I'm like that, there's this group chat of clinicians, and they're like, hey, I got a divorced person, and nobody ever says shit in the group chat. So then people are always throwing clients out there like, hey, I got a parent who's got depression. I'm like, me. Hey, I got a 14 me. Like, so I'm on it. Like, what I mean? They'll just say gender, age, me. If I could build insurance, I'll take them. So because of that, my caseload has like went up rapidly, right? So somebody noticed, right? And they were like, dang, you're doing really well. So then they hit me up like, Casey, why do you think other people are not doing well? And I was like, because they fucking lazy. Not like, I mean, I did say that. I was like, but they also might not know how to market themselves. They also might not know how to, build up their case. So everybody's different, you know what I mean? So it's no one size fits all. So then somehow, some way, I'm talking to this person and they're just like rocking with me. Like, and so the first issue was,
it's a coworker or a client?
No, this is like the person who owns this company that I'm contracted with.
Yep.
So me, I feel like, I just chop it up with people. John, you know me. Everybody listening, that if you personally know me, I just chop it up with everybody.
Yeah,
I'm do. Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's not.
Surprised you don't get in more trouble than you do.
Me too.
Is that where this is going?
No, so like I just be chopping it up. So the first thing was, why are you chopping it up with this person?
That could be trouble.
Like, and I'm like, not because they cool. Like, I'm cool with them. They cool with me. You know what I mean? Like, first of all, I like to be cool with people who give me money. Like, I mean, you're going to be a fucking friend indeed. We're friends in need. If you sign in my checks, like, what's up? So this person was just like, man, like really kind of like hitting me up, like trying to see like what's the barrier for other people? Because it seems like other people aren't doing what you're doing. Because like you out here, you know, after the bag. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So what ends up happening is this person is like, well, can you get with this other person? Because I want you to like have a meeting with people who aren't doing well.
Yep. You're going to get yourself into some trouble now.
And first of all, I am really not even remotely a person that's always doing well. Okay, that is not even my vibe. You know me. Like, I am constantly behind. You know, that's just my vibe.
You'll teach them how to overbook yourself.
Okay, right. Is that the lesson you want from these people? Like, so I'm like, he's like, but there's people who are like 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah, and it's been like a minute.
Well, I mean, also, what about retention? Like, are they looking at that here?
Yeah, but it's like, so it's like,
if people keep coming back to you, but not coming back to other people, like, you know, a lot of people probably don't come back to therapists.
Right. So, like, we're supposed to have a minimum. So he's like, I'm just kind of tripping on, like, people really don't have this minimum down pack, like, you know, but you're going above and beyond them. Like, you're on some other junk. And I'm like, that's because I want the money, though. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. And
you haven't crashed yet.
Right. I crash every Friday. So, like, that's cool. I have a pattern going.
You're still packing it until August.
Yeah, working 7 days a week, not getting good sleep. You know, those are the recipe. So my friend,
coworker.
Yeah, but
maybe the person who got you this job.
Nope, I got this person. I pulled this person in.
Yeah,
but this is like my friend. This isn't like. This is not a person like that's like, oh, I just am only cool with them at work. This is like, I'm life cool with them. Like, they're a person that's in my life. Like, I F with them the long way. Like, we're locked in.
And now you work at the same place.
We work at the same place.
And now you're really important. And the boss is giving you cookies, and now you're going around and trying to get other people better.
So this is what I said to this person. That's my friend. Could we give them a name? What's the name we could give this person?
Watermelon.
I'm so hungry. No, we cannot give them a full name. Can we name
fried rice
person?
Baseball bat.
Let's name this person
Marianne.
Ginger.
Ginger?
Let's name this person Ginger.
That has a... Okay. All right, Ginger.
Ginger. Okay. So me and Ginger were really locked in. You know what I'm saying?
You were until whatever you're about to tell us.
So So they're like, you're about to have this meeting with this group of people, and Ginger's in the group.
Yep.
So I go to Ginger and I say, hey, you're in this meeting. Ginger knows she in a meeting. Ginger's like, I don't give a fuck, like, whatever. And I say, hey, don't show up to the meeting. You don't have to. I'm going to just say me and you chopped it up. And, like, crisscross applesauce. You don't even need to be, because this is, like, not a good meeting. This is like they dropping the hammer. But it's not they, it's me and another motherfucker, which is like...
How would you do that? This is fucked up.
This is what I'm saying.
You get paid to go be his... Whatever.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. So it's kind of like, you know, because the way that I was looking at it was just like, let's have more of a conversation versus you're not meeting the billing expectation, blah, blah, blah. So I told Ginger, I said, hey, Ginger, don't come to this meeting. You don't need to come to this meeting. You already know what this meeting's about. You don't need to come. Because Ginger's my friend. Mm-hmm. And Ginger was like, no. I'm coming to this meeting. I'm coming to this fucking meeting because I'm so interested to hear what the fuck they have to say. And I said, oh, no. There is no they. The owner of this company is not going to be in this meeting. None of those people are going to be. It's just me. So, like, I'm asking you not to be a part of that meeting because you don't need to be a part of that meeting. We already having this conversation. We're not even having a conversation. I'm just flat out saying don't come to the meeting because this is what it's going to be about. So why you don't need to be involved in that. Like, you already know what you need to do for yourself. You know what you need to do to build your situation up. So don't come. Ginger was like, no, just because you're a fucking teacher's pet. Ain't gonna be a teacher's pet. Ginger was like, just because you're a teacher's pet, nope, I'm coming to that meeting and I'm about to show my ass and da-da-da. And I was like, okay, but like, it's just me in the meeting. And it's like, I'm not like flipping out on anybody or being mean to anybody. I'm just like having a conversation with everybody. Like, what are the barriers here? What can be helpful? And also, if you feel like this isn't the vibe for you, then that's like reasonable to say this isn't a good fit for me. So like, this is just like, it's just a conversation. What are other people doing to be in their position? What are they struggling with? It's supposed to be like a healthy community conversation. And also there's this like undertone of everybody's not meeting this, whatever. So I just feel anxious.
I mean, it's a messed up spot that you're in now.
Yeah, and like, I didn't even ask to get put in this situation.
You also didn't need to tell her not to be in the meeting necessarily. Like, what are you protecting her from?
Because
she can't handle it?
No, because I didn't want to deal with Ginger getting Ginger toward me.
Well, see, that's the
that
thing.
Was my anxiety.
That's the thing. You can't. You go to try to prevent it. You're probably going to create it in those situations because they're going to get upset no matter what. You're having success, and it seems like Ginger has a way of getting Ginger, which is why you named him Ginger. And then there you go. They're going to get upset, especially if you're being successful, and they could get jealous if they got a weak spot for that. But that's in them. That's in this friend in this spot. Also, you're taking on a weird responsibility for what pay?
Yeah, they're paying me. They're
paying you to do this side meet thing. Like,
yeah,
he's giving you a bump to be his hit person because you're acting like a supervisor now, and you're acting like a lead, which is a different role, job title, and a consistent pay difference. If you're taking that responsibility on of having that relationship with everybody who works there. You might be getting played right now.
Yeah, I feel like I am like a damn fiddle.
You can just do your work and make your money. You don't have to get into weird relationship spot with other people.
I wasn't trying to. Like, I didn't.
But he asked you. You don't have to say yes.
Okay, but like, I didn't even realize it was like saying yes to a thing because I was just like, first it was just talk to this person on the side who like, this is their role. Oh, just, maybe you should chat with this person who this is her role in that. So I chat with this person and then it's like, hey, here's a follow-up email. Here's what me and this person went over just to let you know. And it's like, oh, good. And then the person like hits me up like, oh, can you send out an email just like to the assistant or whatever, to a person that sends the emails out to all the staff. And I was like, oh, yeah, like I could like put out an email. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not thinking that it's being set up like this. But then I got to like this weird space of like, oh, did you send that email out? And I was like, send what email out? I didn't know that I was supposed to be sending an email.
Right,
out.
That's what you get into now. You enter a different, like, taking responsibility for and leading something and trying to improve other people at an organization.
But
that's a different role. You're not a contractor anymore.
It was like a conversation that I was supposed to have. So it just turns so fucking weird. And it just feels so like, it just feels so overwhelming. And it just kind of feels like, it just feels fucking weird.
Success is expensive. And you had said in a past episode that you're ready to leave people behind when you have that success. And when you have a success, you start losing things in our relationships. And relationships get messed up and they get messy and they get crappy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the reason I don't like to have success that shows. I don't want people to see me being successful at anything. It's not any good. Awards aren't any good. They all come with a cost. Somebody's jealous. Somebody's feelings are hurt. Relationships get odd. It's better when we're just present with what we are and we don't mark different people with different labels in the room. But this boss person thinks they can turn you and find a way to get you to be positioned to grind everybody else to get results. That's cowardice on their part. Like, if they want to take information from you and convey it to them, that's one thing. But what they're doing is protecting themselves as a boss from the relationship, and they're playing you and making you take on that negative energy. Because when you come at people with that and you start trying to move them and shake them and guide them around, then they're going to have a negative reaction.
Yes.
And it's not about you, but now they're going to see you. Instead of seeing him, they see you. And he's now got somebody being the fall guy for him.
This is just fucking trashy. Yeah. I'm just trying to be rich. Why is all this shit coming into play?
This is the stuff you're going to be navigating more and more of this if you do get rich and you do get successful. Like, there's more and more, people get jealous, people get weird, and they're not everything comes out because we don't have conversations about most things that go on.
Yeah, so after begging Ginger for the umpteenth time not to come to this meeting, and Ginger has absolutely refused. So I'm just going to have to re-strategize how I'm going to just show up in this meeting of I don't know.
See, I feel like if Ginger is really a friend, you don't need to scheme to preserve the relationship.
Well, that's what I didn't think that I needed to do. But
you are scheming, though.
Yeah, I didn't think that I needed to do that. But then, when Ginger was like, "Yeah, I'm about to show my ass and I'm about to flip the fuck out," and I'm like, "Why though? It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that deep." So then,
but if it is, then what's in there?
That's
interesting.
That was the weird part because I was just starting to feel a little bit nervous because I'm like, damn, girl, you gotta come with the smoke for my ass. What's up?
But it's not personal because you're not the one enforcing any boundaries. You're not the one telling on someone. They're looking up the numbers themselves. You're just there as possibly a resource and the mouthpiece for big scary boss person who wants to make more money and doesn't know if these people have what it takes, and he's trying to see if he can coach them into it and get you to kind of guide them instead of the other way around. But then you mix it with the possible boundary or whatever. But yeah, congratulations on your success. Success is a bitch.
Yeah,
it's better to fail and not have people notice you than it is to be outcharged. That's how I live my life. Because and I've had runs, and I feel like even I've had runs where people have glorified me for being really good at something, and it always comes with a cost. Whether you're the most musical person at school and people are coming up and shaking my hand and be like, "Oh, it's nice to meet you. I can't believe how good you became so fast." Right. And wow, this is amazing or whatever. Or, people come up and say all this sorts of stuff. But if they're giving you all the attention, there's always somebody nearby who also is shooting for that attention. And I'm like, oh, shit. I mean, you give it to them. But the first orchestra when I got, I was a violinist, and then the cellists were terrible. So I was messing around in class, and I picked up the cello. But I'd watched them have to learn so many times that I was like, oh, I think I get the difference. So I was trying to mess around and play it. And then the teacher needed cellos. He was like, you want to play cello?
Yeah.
And then next thing, I was like, oh, I'll try it. And then
Can you imagine your life if you would have fucking stuck with the violin?
I wouldn't have probably played music as long. I wasn't excelling at violin the way that. And then I took cello, and it just took off. Also, there wasn't, great, the guy mastering is a great violinist. We had great violinists in school, but we didn't have as much on the cello after the seniors graduated. Whatever, that's not as important. But then the next year, I end up I've only been playing for half a year.
Yeah,
and then I'm in the top orchestra at the school.
Damn.
And then I'm in the top chair. And there's 3 seniors who all knew who was going to be the top chair all along.
Yeah.
They had this girl who was going to be the one, and they were all seniors. They were all best friends. And now here I am sitting there. And they wouldn't even talk to me.
I know.
A whole school year sitting there and having them basically just be like, and I'm just bad blood. I'm like, I was not trying for this.
Yeah.
There was no moment where I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take away their cookie. No, but this is what happens when people see everything as this scarce ladder up and down. And then if you go get success, then you got jealousy. If you get some big ass contract, you got a whole bunch of people who are like, hey, Casey, you're buying dinner now, right? And now you got to decide, do I want to eat on my own so that I don't have to, help everybody else out who doesn't have it?
Yeah.
Or do I gotta,
See, and my theory is it's enough room at the top for everybody.
There is not, Casey. Do you see this country? There is not.
There is enough room for everybody, though, in my mind.
Not in this world. So you're missing that point.
I guess I'm missing that point because I'm like, shit.
The ladder, it's a ladder.
Yeah.
And then there's a bottom of a ladder.
Yeah.
And then there's 1 in every 5 people below the ladder, not even on it.
Oof.
10 to 20% of people aren't even on the ladder.
Damn.
That's how I would say. I mean, yes, they have some houses and they have some jobs, but no real opportunity, and they're really stretched, stretched. And I think it's way more than we give credit for. And that's just in America, we're talking. There's just a lot there. I think there's a middle, but the middle's shrinking, and more people are sliding into the middle off to the bottom where they're struggling check to check and they're in credit problems. Listen. And then there's more people sliding off the top where they're living a life where they can't even hang with us because they don't even, I wouldn't eat at a restaurant like that.
Oh my gosh.
My servers are, I only eat food at this level. I mean, there's a different lifestyle that you become.
Where they hand you warm fucking towels.
Now you want it. Yeah, see, huh? You were in that hotel.
I was in that. Listen, I was there.
Yep.
I was there. It was nice. It's in, was it Oakdale? It's like a restaurant there. And I went and like we sat there and like she came around with warm towels. I said, she said, these are for your hands. And they were so warm and felt so good. And I said, wow, this is the thing I never knew I needed.
Yes.
I just bring hand sanitizer for myself, but this is the thing I never fucking knew I needed. Can a bitch get a warm towel? Like, oh my gosh.
I'm going to do something in honor of Nick not being here. I'm going to use a movie reference that I'm pretty sure you don't have.
Okay.
Because have you seen the Wonka movie?
No.
So in the Wonka movie, which families become a big fan of, all those songs rattle around my head, but the Wonka movie, there's a scene where the girl who's an orphan and lives in this terrible place where they're all forced to work in servitude in this laundry room because they signed some deal where they didn't read the fine print. They're all stuck there. She's never had anything. This has been her whole life. She was dropped off as a baby and then they forced her into this thing and she's just been in servitude to these awful people. And then Wonka hasn't started his chocolate shop, but he's going and he's planning on starting a chocolate shop there. He can't read, so he gets stuck there.
Yeah.
Now he shows her chocolate. He makes her a chocolate like out of his little suitcase that he opens up while they're in this little prison-like thing together at night. And she's just like, I wish you hadn't done that. Because now every day I'm going to be sad because now I don't have that. Oh. I never knew I didn't have chocolate. Now that I've had this amazing thing, now I got something to want to get back to.
Yeah.
Same thing happens then if you get to an income level and every time you go to a restaurant, you get a warm towel.
Yeah.
Then when your friend invites you out to the restaurant without the hand warm towel, I don't know. It's a little bit, that's a loss for me. But if you invite the friend to your restaurant, can they afford it? Now you get into these spots. And when we have too much inequality, it's hard it's hard for community to hold. Like people slip away and.
Okay, but then that's the problem. I think that's the issue. # Drake. When you get to a level, I know Drake is going through so much. Kendrick really had him fucked up. I don't know if you've been following, but
I have not.
Listen, I was.
Are they having friend dilemmas too?
They hate each other, but
that's not a dilemma. That's
no, it's
clear.
Not very clear. And I was with Drake until that motherfucking. Anyways,
I just know the Highline Bling.
Oh my gosh! No, we're beyond the Highline Bling. So I said all that to say, when you get to a certain spot, you just want everybody to like be there. You know what I mean? And I don't even feel like I'm in that spot. Like I don't ever feel like I'm in that spot because I surround myself with people who very easily humble me. # Corey Bird. So whenever I think I'm doing something, whenever I think I'm doing well in life, I just walk to his office and sit down, and he's got a spiral notebook. He's got a legal pad, and he'll just quickly walk me through like 4 things that he's doing at the computer at that very moment. And then right away, I feel like I'm not doing shit. Like I'm so far away from this thing. But
and you're like, and then you go get another job.
Yeah. That's literally. I blame Corey Bird for all my overworking.
I'm gonna have to talk to him now. I got a new beef with him.
Because it's just, I don't know. You know what? I was telling somebody that when I was younger. Oh yeah, this. I was very, whatever. When I was younger, I used to feel like I was so close to my dreams, and now that I'm an adult. And when I'm actually close to my dreams, closer than I ever have been before, it feels so fucking far away. Because like when I was younger, I didn't know what it took to bring it to life. Like I just was like, I'm good. Like I was like fucking sitting at Roosevelt, skipping class, like, you know what I mean? Like going to Mr. Rowe's office, going to Mike Walker's office, just like living my fucking life, doing whatever. Yep. And like, I'm like, man, I'm a psychiatrist at the time because I didn't know I was not a fan of science. But I was like, man, I'm about to be a psychiatrist. I'm helping all these bitches in the bathroom deal with their breakups. And I'm everybody's like therapy friend. Like I'm about to, I'm gonna be a psychiatrist. Like I'm about to be a therapist, blah, blah. And then like, boom, I get older and I start to do the thing. And now it's like, boom, I am a therapist. Like, I'm literally living
you
my
are
dream.
Actually, yep.
I'm living the dream that I had.
Yep.
And now I realize that, like, the real dream, the next dream, right? Because once you get the dream, you got to dream more.
You're not there yet.
You can't. You got to push it away. And now I feel like I'm so far from the next thing because I know what it takes to do it. Like when I was in high school, I was like, man, I'm going to graduate college. That seemed like such a tangible thing, applying to college, that I was going to graduate. And then every fucking semester at midterms when I was failing,
you barely made it.
Midterm, every fucking midterm.
Did you procrastinate much?
My gosh.
Yeah, I think you did.
Did I not procrastinate? I would not have graduated college if it wasn't for Nugget. I needed another friend that was a psych major, and we were roommates. I would be fucking knocking on her door at midnight, like, Nugget, can I see the notes? I'm done, but like, can I send? She's like, I'm going to bed, case here. Just fucking put it by my door when you're done. Like, I did my paper, but can I see your paper? Yep. And just, so I don't know. I feel really far away from my dreams.
And that's the thing is the dreams are always better before they come true. They're always better.
That's a bar.
In your head, your dream is just this illusion. And it's based on like a fantasy of something that you're like, oh, there's a longing. There's something you're longing for and you're trying to get towards it. But the fantasy is until you've lived the life of a sports athlete, or until you've lived the life of a doctor, or you live the life of a therapist, or anything. That's the only way to know what that's like. Yeah. I can tell you what it's like to be a musician. But
married.
You hearing that, I can tell you what it's like to be married. But that's not actually, me telling you that is not going to be that experience for you. And your experience won't match mine. Because actually, even within each one of these little buckets that we put together, dream buckets, each one of these buckets, there's a million unique experiences in there. You could be a therapist and find a happy, fulfilling practice somewhere and love it. You could also be a therapist and really hate what ends up happening, hate who you work with, have friend dilemmas, and have all this drama. Like a lot of maybe what's actually made it work has been sometimes where you've worked has made it work or not work. Yeah. What schools made it. There's all these other little factors that were more important than the dream itself. But instead we flip it in our heads and we laud all the people who accomplish what their minds set out to do and think that makes it good. Because my mind set out to do it, therefore the fact that it happened makes it good. It's like the fact that my former self is in control of me now means this is good. That's just a myth. Like that's just what the ego wants to think. The ego wants to think that if I decide that I'm gonna be X, I'll be X. And I'll go, oh, that's so awesome. He did it. That means that I can control my life too. And it's like,
it's kind of hard.
No,
man, 'cause it's like we're all out here. Just like I feel like we're all fucking grinding. And sometimes it's like, are you grinding or are you getting ground?
You are.
Like
you mostly get ground.
I'm mostly getting ground.
Yes.
It's just like a constant like work and work and work, and then people are like, oh, Casey, you work too much. And then I think I've like drank the Kool-Aid of America, because it's like even when I'm not working, I'm like, damn, I want to kick it with my friends, I want to be doing more other things. But then it's like I'm also thinking of like, I think in terms of like what shit costs, because it's so easy to spend the money and then you have to work so hard to get it.
Yes.
So then I end up being cheap as fuck, and it's not that I'm cheap. I just look at like the money as my life energy that I've like traded, you know what I mean? Because every hour that I work, I'm dying, right? So like we're all dying. That's a morbid episode, guys.
Yeah.
Every fucking hour of the day, you are actively dying. So if I'm gonna trade my life force for paper, like it better fucking mean something, or it better like help somebody, or it better have some sort of meaning. So it's like nothing against the motherfuckers working at Chipotle, nothing against people, you know, doing PCA work for their fucking cousin. But it's like, if I'm gonna trade my life energy, you know, then like it needs to be worth something to me. So then it gets to a place where it's like, oh, Casey, but like you have this thing coming up, but you have the money for it. And then I feel this tightness in me where it's like, damn, I have the money, but now I need to think about how to replace that to put me back at like even, because I don't want to be at a deficit, because that's just so much more that I have to work to just put myself back at zero. So then when I like opt for not doing shit like buying clothes or buying new shoes or buying, you know, this or buying new that, or, you know, people are like, damn, well, why, you know, you have it, so why aren't you willing to give it? It's like, it takes so much to fucking get it. Like, just paint costs so fucking much. Just paint for your fucking house, like paint. It is so fucking much to paint. And then it's like, everybody's like, oh, well, just do it yourself. Then you need time. Yeah. Time. Here you go. Like paint, time. And then if you hire somebody, okay, then that's more money. Then if, you know what I mean? Just everything fucking costs.
So many transactions. It starts to get tiring.
And that's why I just want to be a sugar baby.
I mean, well, you keep Googling.
I'm fucking
find the dark web.
Google it. I know you don't get the damn dark web to be a sugar baby. Seeking.com, okay?
This isn't totally related, but you mentioned death, and it reminded me of something that I thought would be interesting to talk about. So, like the and dark. Now that we've gotten morbid, it's my time to shine.
Daddy Darko over
Daddy
here.
Darko, literally. Like, So yesterday we put my cat down.
Oh no!
And we've had for 15, almost 16 years.
Was $200 a month for their medicine.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Yep. He was the food and we got to, you know, you could feel the end coming, and then you get to the spot where you got to make the decision. This is the first time I've made the decision, made the phone call, and been like, okay, come on over here. Speaking of cost money, that costs money too. You can just let them die for free. Or you can put them out of their misery and, you know, pay whatever, $400 or $500, like $350.
$500 to kill a cat.
It was amazing service. I mean, it was great, and I'm very glad for it. It was well worth the $350 to kill them and $145 to burn them for you.
Oh, another they burned them too.
Well, yeah, you're gonna cremate them. You know,
you didn't bury them in the backyard.
No, there was a hole, but I thought about it. I was like, I don't want to do more digging, and you got to get like deep enough, and then
have a cat.
Do you call before you dig?
Yeah,
I mean, I was
bury my cat.
I wasn't super rational, you know. You're kind of processing through the day, but also like with that process, one, you know, and I thought about it a lot, and like I like to think that I'm at a lot of peace with death, and that's something I probably overemphasize. You're trying to make a bunch of money, and I'm trying to pretend that I'm not afraid to die, or be there, and telling the kids. So like you tell the 6 and 7 year old that you did this. Of course, we do that, and like I'm crying and Kirsten's crying and Graham is wailing while Liam holds it in, and then there's Mira over there like, ha ha ha, more cinnamon roll. It's funny, like
just not
read the room, 2-year-old. It's just funny to be blissfully unaware of all that's happening.
Chilling.
But it's like, yeah, I made the call, and the doctor's gonna come later today, and they're gonna put Max to sleep for the last time. And one of the more fascinating reactions was that. And it makes sense now, but Graham, my second oldest, the big emotions, he's wailing and he's upset and he's crying, and then he turns and he's mad at me for making the decision.
Damn.
And so then there you are being sad about what happened and getting yelled at, like, you called the doctor to kill the cat.
Damn.
Even when the doctor was there, he's like, I'm going to tell all my friends at class that you killed, and he's going between the different emotions, but like, through that grief and like trying to just find a place to like let all those emotions play out, and it was a wild experience and beautiful, really, that we had the day off, that someone could come and very respectfully, like, peacefully put him down. He was clearly suffering a lot, and he's much better off for where he's, you know, his spirit got to leave that body. You know, we talk about, and then they want to know where do people go when they die. So, you know, you're talking about death, you're processing that stuff, and I think what I liked that we did a lot was we just left space for like all the different emotions to happen. We happened to have time in that day, which I feel like was a blessing, that we could just take him outside for a little bit. He could pretend he was a cat before he loses it. Grandma was excited to give him milk. You know, you got to have that process and think it through. After it was done, then like the doctor comes in and Graham is like, it's showing up as him like asking a million questions and talking way too much. Like, okay, what are we doing? So you're here? Okay, so is that what you're going to kill him with? Is that what's going to kill him? I corrected him later on the kill word. I'm like, kill isn't really apply here. Kill is like more of a malicious intent. There's a different color to that word. But he's like, you're going to kill him with that? And like, oh, what's this? I'm ready. Okay, everybody ready? Are we all ready? I'm like, damn, you're the saddest one here. But he was just trying to, okay, you're ready, Liam? Liam's ready. Okay, you can do it now. And the doctor's clearly like, I've seen some of this before. Like, let it happen.
Yeah.
And then, and then more of the waves of emotion come out later. As we did like a dance party afterwards, and he beats me up.
Cat.
Yeah, he died. And there clearly was so much feeling in the kids. So then you're like, what do we do with this? He's like, I want to watch TV. I'm like, nope. You want to watch TV because you want to just push it all down. But like, you currently still want to beat me up. So just try me. Try to beat the shit out of me. Let's do this instead. Yep, come wail on your dad for a second. That's what you got to get out. Like, just go through each one of those processes and try to like.
I was right with you until you encourage your son to put his hands on you, John.
I mean, I'll kick his ass. So
okay, I just listen. I'm telling
you, he doesn't actually beat me up. I just throw him to the ground. Then
I know, but I'm just saying that is where the cultural differences come.
Sure.
I don't think that there would be a day on this earth where, hey, my mom has definitely invited me to put my hands on her. But what she told me is, we going two places. I'm going to jail and you're going to be in a body bag. So I said, all right, you can have it, Angie. Okay, but yeah, no, I get it.
It doesn't need to be that. Maybe you were a different age, but
any age,
at 6, I can just take his body, hold him down, and tell him that you are not going to get up until I let you. Do you like this? You gonna stop now? I can put a little extra pressure on. I mean, it's not that hard. Older is different. If you like, gonna really take a stab at me.
But what I'm saying is, you opening that door could bite you in the ass later.
Nah, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so.
Let's hope not.
Yep.
Okay, because later on, you a pretty tall dude. I mean, I don't know what people think about John.
But this is the thing. Once the child's old enough,
yeah,
it's not a command and control situation anymore.
Right.
I'm not doing command and control with a fully grown 17-year-old. It's over. If I don't build trust and respect in that child by that age, I lost. It's over. Go fuck the world up. I have no ability to tell you what to do.
I'm talking about.
I'm not pretending that I'm going to have my 17-year-old listen to me because they're afraid of me.
No, I'm just saying you're a tall person. And your wife she's not
my
super
kids
tall.
Will be taller than me.
They're going to be tall as fuck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hopefully somebody starts basketball early on, maybe.
I mean, if I get to a spot where my end is my kids kicking my ass, I deserve it.
I don't think they're going to kill you, John. I think, little boys, they grow up and it's like they're trying to put the paws on you.
And if they can successfully kick my ass to get what they want, and that's what they choose at age 14, well, there you go. I'm not stopping that by scaring them out of it when they're 5.
Okay. Listen.
I mean, you can say it's a different strategy, but I don't think.
Listen, I support your parenting.
I let them talk back to me.
This is the
until I decide to shut it down, and when I decide to shut it down, I'll use the force that I need to shut that down. But I know that when they get to be a certain size and they get to be a certain capacity, they're going to have to run on their own, and they're going to stay in this house on their trust. That's funny, actually. So we did. I mean, it was emotions flying. So there is a song that then I picked a song because we all picked a song that we played as we danced out some of those feelings, and the song I chose, I forgot, starts with the F word, and the kids know it. So when I said the song, they're like, they know it's the F word. So it's been around them, and they know what it is, and they have already. So you've been like, well, just don't say it around the grown-ups. And I was like, you know what? This is the time to say it. So at the beginning of the song, I was like, you can all say fuck. And so then they all yelled, fuck. Fuck! I mean, it's a great, like, the cat's dead. Like, there's a part of you that's mad that you lost something. You go, fuck, that's what it's for.
Right, but did you see that video of the parents where they set up the camera in the bathroom with the kids and they're like, I'm going to close this door and you can say whatever cuss word you want to say. Mm-hmm. And then they close the door and it's so funny. Like, I saw one little boy was like, I'm not going to cuss because Jesus will be mad if I cuss.
That's not happening.
And then I saw one little girl. She was like probably like 5. Cute little girl. She was just standing there for a second. She was like, Bumbaclot.
What?
Bumbaclot.
Do they know swear words?
Jamaican ass.
That's not what happened with my kids.
It was so fucking funny. But yeah, so maybe try that with your kids.
Yeah. I mean, it did go too far because then the one was going fuck. I was like, okay, you gotta stop now. But
listen, he's a McDuffie because again, that shirt would have really been applicable in that scenario.
Don't go making fun of Cucumber now,
man.
Cucumber.
Oh gosh. Anywho, so yeah.
So yeah, there's death processing, but it's just a cat. But I've lost somebody who lived in my same house. I mean, and for me too. Like, I've never put somebody down. I've never lost somebody that lived in my own house. That's a different phase too, like feeling somebody like leaving your space that you're in.
Are you gonna get a new cat?
No.
Trying to just live out the rest of the animals you have.
We got one more. Probably live that one out. I mean, there's a chance we get a dog. I'd say it's 20 to 30%. Why do I keep thinking
you have a dog already?
I don't have a dog. I have a dog that I love very much, but he died a long time ago.
Okay. That was a cat that was walking in that screen?
Definitely a cat. Yep. Only cat. He was a damn cool cat, though.
Okay, maybe he looked so big I thought it was a dog.
He's a big cat.
Yeah, he was big as fuck.
Super big, super friendly cat. Yep.
Okay.
But
yeah, I just always pictured you with a dog.
Nope, never had one. Okay. I mean, there's so much more maintenance. Like the kids have to be old enough to take care of them. I'm into dogs. My wife's never had one or been into it, so you'd have to like. So we'll see. We'll see. She said that's the last cat we'll ever have. I was like, maybe not. And I'm fine living out where we're at and then taking a break if that's what it is.
Yeah, man. Figure out.
I'm caring for enough characters.
Yeah.
Taking care of enough characters. There's a limit to like how much you want to take care of and take care of yourself. There's a limit to that balance point.
100%.
So
100%.
Yeah, are you feeling that? How many people are you taking care of?
My aloe vera plant.
25, 30, 45. All your clients, your people here, people who call you for advice, you got friends. You know, you're always getting in and supporting people through their things. And that's caretaking.
I don't know.
I guess you're not making any of them dinner.
I'm not. Okay.
Packing them lunch.
Which is
taking them to the doctor.
Exactly what Mississippi told me was, I'm not wife material because I have not cooked for a man in 8 years.
You are not the wife he wants material. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that kind of stuck with me because I was like, damn. So if I'm like,
there's a lot more like relationships where the dude does all the cooking now. I know a few of them. So.
Well,
No, but they do it.
Okay, but
not they can.
Could.
Nah, it's different.
He was a good cook.
Yeah, but he wants a traditional wife that does all the work. It's one thing. It's work. It's not just about being good.
So I just saw this statistic that said marriage puts 5 hours of work on the woman, and it takes 2 hours of work off the man per week, labor-wise.
That makes some sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to balance because all the normal roles that go with marriage and housekeeping. But then again, I would argue that the contract is actually in favor of the woman.
Say more about that.
I mean, the woman wants to lock a man down to stay as a provider. A man doesn't want to stay with one woman for their life very often. Like naturally, sexually, like you have something to preserve and protect and need that protection. Whereas the man wants to just go flower them all up, plant the seed around, and be on his own, do whatever the fuck he wants, genuinely. But he'll stay in this contract agreement because it's a family benefit sort of thing, and the Christian church said to do it. But in nature, like that's not what actual human men would do.
John, it sounds like you in the market for another bitch. Like I'm just gonna put it out there. It sounds like a conversation you had with your wife to really try to finesse the fuck out of her. Like like maybe let's just open it up. Like, I mean
that would be like there's it's not that unnatural. I mean, what's natural about marriage? Like what animals speak like that? That's not very natural.
Okay, we're not animals. Fucking lions don't dream. So it's like we can't do the nature argument unless we fully go into the nature argument of like they don't have a conscious or a concept of. I mean, we don't speak whatever language they speak, right? Or however they communicate. So we don't know how conscious animals are and their attunement to the world. We don't know if that bald eagle is really mythical and with fucking brother bear spirit and shit, or if it's just like fish, kill fish, eggs, nests. We don't know.
But the when we're talking about the sex and the mating stuff that goes on, there's a whole bunch of what goes on in there that's actually very natural. It's not because humans are rational that they've devised a scheme to want to fuck each other. It's that there is a bunch of sexual urges and natural energy that gets explored and then creates new life.
Penguins mate for life.
I'm sure some animals mate for life, but
not dolphins.
That does
penguins.
Yeah, right. I understand that some animals pick different sorts of contract. I'm not saying that that's the case, but I'm saying I'm looking at humans, and the natural results of like men untethered and women untethered tends to be that I think it favors more what the woman would need for protection to be in marriage than it favors the man to be locked down in a relationship where they cannot have as much sexual access as what they desire, and they've essentially, they want more than they get, I think, more oftentimes than the woman does.
Well, I always say that a man is only as faithful as his options.
So if I could cheat, I would cheat. Probably. And I don't cheat because I can't.
Right.
That's not true.
What?
That's not the only reason. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you... You're basically saying that if a woman walked up to me right now and wanted to have sex with me, I would just do it.
No, but that's like not... You don't have the option of doing that without, like... When I say options, I mean full options. So if you were like a high value man, right? If you were making 6 fucking figures, if you...
Oh, it's the money. Okay, yeah, so I'm good looking enough.
Right, like if you had like hella fucking money.
I'm missing some hair on top of my head.
If you had so many... Are you using that spray?
No, that's like, it's like painting your house. It takes time, okay?
Are you not using that spray?
No.
Why?
It's on the list of things. You know how many things I'm not doing today?
Okay, listen. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. Anyways.
I have it. It is there. The spray for my hair it's ready.
Okay, I gave him some black girl serum spray.
But I have to...
And he has not...
I have to make the tea, and then I have to put it in the bottle, and I have to start applying it. There's steps to that I haven't got to.
And you have to keep it refrigerated. So he's not used it yet. Anyway, no judgment.
I will have to text you when I do because I forgot the instructions already. So
you'll
know.
Yes. So what I was saying is, if you had absorbent amounts of resources, and basically when guys exercise their options that are more high value, it's less likely that a woman will leave, right? Because she has more, not just like vested, but there's more. It's almost like, I always hear like when women leave a situation that's like really high up there, the next guy is not necessarily equal. It's kind of, they always end up doing worse.
Oh, okay. So if they leave a high value guy,
yeah,
in this model,
right,
then they tend to end up lower with the value. They don't increase in value.
Right. But men increase in value. Women don't. Because like women and men, their value... What's that word? I don't remember the word. Okay. But it's inverse. So the younger a woman is, the more her value is.
Yes.
And the older a guy is, the more his value is.
Which furthers my argument.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Right? A woman wants to lock it down while she's young. Lock you in, keep it. The guy, he increases in value. He'd rather wait on it. Instead, he's going to lock down when he's young, and he still has all this urge to do much more. And then they end up in this spot of like, well, you're not supposed to because the right thing. It's like, well, let's be honest about what you're holding back. Yes. Not saying don't do it, hold it back, but let's be honest about what you're doing when you're holding it back. Yeah. And then if you're going to go have babies, they don't get more. There's a lot of breaks in there. There's a lot of changes. It's not the same. You got to take breaks. You got to wait things out. You got to stick it out, and then you're staying for the family. And I'm for the family thing, so that's easier for me. Like I'm for the commitment and the family thing. Yeah. So that's the mindset is what I'm for. But I think people trick in and they go like, "Oh, I should just want to be in this space with these urges." And then if I were to admit that I have different ones, I'm like a bad person. Like no, you're not. You're just like this is an unnatural system that we've devised to try to help build healthy societies and families. Yeah, and it's worth reevaluating. Going, is it healthy? I still think it's. I don't have a better idea necessarily, but I also haven't tried out a commune. I don't know. Like I can't say.
Some people tried out a commune.
I have not. In my third,
listen, I know somebody who was living on a commune. She said it was cool.
Right, and then there we go. There's data. There's our data. 100% of the people we know think communes are better. So get off the apps and find a commune. She said it was cool
till it wasn't. Oh, she was like the communes were good, but like fucking drinking rainwater and all that other shit. Yeah, is like living, off the grid and gardening and having all your shit be whatever. It's cool, but then it's like certain things where you just want modern comforts and you're not Amish. Bucket time.
Speaking of modern comforts, we're going to the dream bucket without Nick.
I know.
Oh, where are you, Nick? So okay, we're down to the last 7 or 8 dreams.
Couple hundred.
7 or 8 dreams. We need into the dream bucket at gmail.com. Send us any errant shower thoughts and and fill the bucket with random things for us to talk about, or else we're going to make them up on our own, which would be like the first 45 minutes of the episode. No, that's not true. We tell stories and then
live our lives, and
then we
and I'll update you on how that situation with Ginger goes.
Yes,
we're supposed to be having a meeting tomorrow.
Ginger on a bucket, Ginger on a bucket with me. All right. Oh, this one. I feel like we did this one.
This would be fucked up for you. Okay.
They're both fucked up. Okay,
you go ahead.
I dream that I never existed.
Did we do that one?
I thought we did that one already.
Toss that one. We already did that.
We know you dreamed you never existed. And theoretically, you could argue that perhaps the world would be a better place, but you can't be certain. There's no data to prove that. It's a butterfly effect. Actually, the world might end if you didn't exist. There's no way to be certain. And maybe your existence would be great if someone else hadn't existed and you just killed someone else sooner.
You knock that the fuck off. Cucumber.
Go back in the veggie drawer.
Yeah.
Okay, you're getting...
Fucking knock it off, cucumber.
I dream of living a Star Trek life. I dream of living a Star Trek life. I don't like the not on Earth part.
Well, okay, I'm a Trekkie, so I watch all the episodes of Star Trek Next Generation.
So much time with just black sky.
No, it's really great. I would be fine with that. The thing that I couldn't get behind is they have this room, the hologram room, where you can go anywhere. It's like endless, like whatever. The issue that they always fucking run into, and the problem that I'm having with it is because you're in space, that fucking hologram room be breaking a lot.
This is why you don't want to live the Star Trek life?
Because the fucking hologram room breaks and then you're stuck in the fucking time thing on the hologram room. So they'll be in the hologram room like, oh, we're in 1919's London. And then it's like really fun. It's like, oh, may I have some more, governor? And then they're like, computer off. It's like, get back here, you fucking winch. Get up there. You're in a brothel now. Now you're a prostitute. Now you're a fucking prostitute. And it's like they're trapped in the fucking hologram room in the middle of space. Nobody knows they're there because this motherfucking hologram room be breaking all the time. Or they'll be stuck in the fucking Wild West about to get cholera and shit, living like Oregon Trails. Like, it's so great having the modern sci-fi adventure, but the hologram room be breaking.
I mean, is that any different from like the Wi-Fi going out?
Yes, because it's real. You can die in the hologram room.
I mean,
the hologram room is real. Like, that's what I'm saying. You're in space.
You can die if a ship runs into a bridge and knocks it down.
Okay, but this is a ship in space.
So are you saying that like the negative drawbacks of Star Trek life are too great, that even though it's awesome, the fact that technology still breaks, you don't want to be involved in it?
I'm specifically talking about the hologram room because
is that like a major plot point of Star Trek?
Kind of, like they do a couple of episodes about it.
A couple of episodes,
like it's a few episodes like per season of them just fucking going in the hologram room, and then the shit just breaks the fuck like this. Who's the maintenance person on the motherfucking hologram room?
Do you have to go in the room?
I mean, you don't, but like it's kind of boring just being on the ship the whole time, like with these fucking doors that open like.
Oh, you're trying to fix for the black skies problem.
Yeah, like, you know, you get bored. So it's like, okay, I'm not on Earth. Let me go to Earth in fucking, I don't know. They were going, first of all, most of the cast was white on Star Trek. Let's just be clear. So they were always going back in time when it was cool to be back in time. It was, I mean, they never took, I'll tell you who they never took. They never took Geordie black ass. Number one, he was blind and he had that little visor thing on his eyes. I think they did some shit where like the computer didn't notice it or whatever. But yeah, I think they were trying to make him a slave in one. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about all that traveling back in time and shit. I don't really, you know, I have friends like, oh, I wish I could go back to the times of Bridgerton. Bitch, I don't. Okay? Because that was not the vibe. But yeah, so I think I would not want to live the Star Trek life because that hologram room breaks often and it just seems like a huge inconvenience. And then also their alarms on their ships are super obnoxious. like very obnoxious. It's like so fucking that. It's like just too much for me. Like I just feel like if there's an emergency, like text us, let us know. And they all have badges, so they could really be, I mean, I don't know. I've just felt like if you're on Star Trek, obviously the technology didn't appear, but like, don't you, now that we're in Elon Musk's, you know, time.
Oh, he's the leader now?
No, now I'm just saying, like, he's, you know, because he just did the Neuralink. Yeah. Sure. Have you heard of Neuralink? Yes. So they're putting a fucking microchip in people's head, aka the Antichrist. I'm not sure, but maybe. Mm-hmm. So it's like, don't you think we would have been to that place on Star Trek where, like, why are we still touching our badges to talk to each other and gossip when now Elon Musk is like, oh, I'm about to put a microchip in your brain.
Yep.
And you're going to be able to, like, what? And you know what people are going to do. Mm-hmm. You know what everybody's going to do. Not everybody, but you know what a lot of people are going to do. Going to fucking go to porn in their brain. Too much.
Oh, that's true.
Too much access.
It's an option. Yeah.
I just don't feel right about that because it's just like you'll be like sitting having a conversation. I don't know what you're scrolling on. It's not always going to be Facebook. And that's concerning me. Anywho.
Star Trek.
Yeah, so it's a no for me. It's a yes for me, but then like I probably wouldn't.
You'd make some edits. Hologram. Yeah, you'd make some edits. That you'd do it otherwise.
Yeah, this one is spicy as fuck. A world where interracial marriage is illegal.
Oh.
Impossible even.
What if you had already had an interracial marriage?
Well, it sounds like you're going to jail.
Okay.
Sounds like you and Kirsten are going the fuck to jail. And your kids are going to be ostracized.
I mean, what the fuck is race anyway? Is it really the 5 buckets? It depends on where you are. I suppose if you're in whatever country they define the races, I mean, it would create like really clear homogenous buckets of people because you'd have to do all of your intercourse.
A lot of places in Asia
version.
Are very homogenous.
Yeah, and then you just
Norway as well.
You just stay right inside your bucket, you know. Mm-hmm. You'd lose all that hybrid vigor, you know. The society would definitely become the lousiest. It would just slowly just. It's nicer when you mix different stuff together.
If it was illegal, I think that would be a bit too much. Unpopular opinion, I do think certain parts of desegregation fucked up the black community, but that's a topic for another time. I do get what the point was, but I think it kind of, there were some drawbacks that they didn't anticipate.
As with all dreams.
Yes.
Casey, just like your dreams.
Yes.
And people dream of a better world and they think it's going to be perfect, and the truth is that there's a Taoist line that I really like that was like, if you try to mess with the master carpenter's tools, you're likely to get cut. If you're going to come in and you're going to try to make the world right, you know, something else will be fucked up. But it's still, you know, some of the work in there is still good.
Yeah, for sure.
But the ideal thing that you get seduced by of like, hey, we just desegregate and everything's going to be great. Or we just make slavery go away and everything's going to be great. It's like the everything's going to be great part causes the stupidity on the other side. It's like, hey, let's try this hypothesis. Mm-hmm. Everyone be scared. Remember what we did last time? It was fucked up, okay? So just watch out for the shit. You know, everybody stay on it. And everybody's like, yay, we've made it to whatever, interracial marriage. It's all over. And you're like, whoa, wait. Keep paying attention because stuff's still fucked up.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, let's end slavery. Tight. Oh, we actually still need a working class that doesn't get paid to keep the infrastructure of this country. So now let's just criminalize this specific culture of people at a very high disproportionate rate.
And we don't actually want free black people walking around.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Everybody's uncomfortable with that, right? Yeah, so like, can we just hit an undo button on this thing?
Yeah.
What's your least favorite part of desegregation?
Least favorite part?
Yeah.
Like, just like the damage that it did to the black community, you know, overall, and like the way that, like, you know, I think the part of segregation that was like whatever was black people were kind of chilling, doing their own thing. You know, we had our own Black Wall Street. We had our own like movie. We had a thriving, bustling economic system where we were self-contained, quote unquote. We were like doing well. And then I think like some of the desegregation pieces caused us to like pedestalize white society and try to like be like, now you want to be like your oppressor, and now what you had, you don't even view that as good, so then you don't like not take care of it, but it's just like it now it's like this really big thing to like try to be like white society.
Yes.
When the society that you created in defiance to oppression was really a beautiful thing, but now it's like that's not good enough, or you don't want that.
Right.
But I get it, because it's like, oh well, there's not a black doctor for the next 10 miles, so now we're gonna educate our own black youth to become doctors to take care of us. But it's like, yeah, now you're in a shitty facility, and now you don't have good medicine. You know what I mean? So I get the part of like it should be equal, but I just felt like if we had equal access to resources versus like making everything integrated, if it wasn't like banned for integration, but like if it wasn't this push for like desegregation, because it's called the Moynihan Reports, but what they did effectively when they stopped segregation, they still wanted to destabilize the black household. So what they did was they said, okay, so we're going to allow these like mid-level administrative roles to be given to black people now, but we're not going to give them to the black men. We're going to give them to the black women. So now you become independent, and now you're like outperforming your counterpart, which is going to cause contention within the dynamic. So then we're going to release crack. And now you staying at home with the kids and you don't really have a job. So now you're out selling crack or getting on crack. And then now you can like go get on welfare and go get on, you know, Section 8. And, you know, to be on subsidized housing, you have to, like, you can't have a man in the house. Right. So then it's like the black woman had to take on, like, you know, like the white zaddy. The government became the placeholder for the man in the household. And then, like, okay. So I think those are kind of like the drawbacks, but they weren't really obvious, because it was like, oh, wow, yeah. You know, it looked really good, but it was like, later on, it was very intentional. Like CIA released all these documents saying like, oh no, we did this on purpose to further destabilize these like black communities that were middle class and just like thriving on their own. It's like, damn, like motherfuckers really do not like black people. It's just fucking wild. But.
Well, and I think, and to me, always underneath it is the, as long as we think that as long as we have a scarce amount of resources that only some people can have, and we still believe in the truth that there's not enough for everybody, then we need some reason to have somebody be on the have-not side of it. And then once we identify it with race, we say, oh, well, it's black people have not. So maybe they'll get a chance to come to white people town. They can maybe come across the tracks and they can become like us. But now it becomes you have to come to our way and change your way. That means you're defective and we're effective. And as long as we keep living in that, these acts of hate and these acts of violence against, like, you know, you can't be that way. There needs to be somebody in the loser side, but now you're pushing them against each other to say, how do you have to escape, or you have to take, or you have to do something to beat them down. And then also, it is more threatening. It's just a man thing. Like, it's just more threatening to have a man take that success. It's one thing, like the first level is being like, oh, we can let some women have success, but they're not really threatening. Like, they can have success. I guess that's a compromise point. But to actually see men being strong and successful alongside you and maybe passing you in the office, that's the kind of thing that, like, the undercurrent of like programming and unconscious is not going to have that happen with ease. Between the two cultures, the way they were clashed, and the way the subconscious was saying, like, this is a threat. This thing is a threat, and if it gets there, it's going to do, you know, it's going to do to me what I did to it. Like, we're in this situation, rather than saying, like, we can be peaceful and beautiful where we are. And instead of going, I wish that I could find a way to help all the kids get out of North Minneapolis. Why can't we make North Minneapolis beautiful?
That's the fucking real question.
But we can't. We've given up on that. We've said there's some places you can escape to, and we hope you can get out, but, like, who are you leaving behind? That's what I mean by the ladder. Is like, as long as we're on the ladder and we're climbing, there's only so much on the top and so much on the bottom, and there's actually just there's a bottom. There's an and I mean not touching the ladder. There's the ladder, and then there's all the people who aren't even on it. And that's who you leave behind. And some of us manage to climb and get on it and climb, but if we're not trying to create a world where there's as many fucking rungs on the ladder as possible, and there's as many places in the middle of the ladder where people can find enough well-being to just have a life that is satisfied. Like we're sharing the abundance of the basic needs that we need. The rest can take care of itself. You want to fight and get your private jet and make your extra money for that, that's one thing. But
if I can get my private fucking jet,
I'll fly it if I can.
Okay.
I'd love to. Oh yeah, we're at
Dream Bucket. Next time Nick will be here.
Oh yeah, I hope so. I mean, that's the plan. We got one plan. Nick, if
Yeah.
you were listening right now,
just
it can't
gonna
be.
call
We
him
probably won't
out.
release it for like a week or two.
Yeah.
I was calling to him.
Yeah.
You're turning this into a conflict, Casey.
Oh my gosh.
Me and Nick are buds. We're fine.
Okay, it's what's going on with me and Ginger. All right, I'm projecting.
You're projecting. Nick, you don't have I'm not going to yell at you at the meeting for the podcast numbers that aren't up to the contractor standards. Casey is a difficult boss. If you can hear me, she's pushing too hard on the staff. I got your back, bro. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.